And we're off to the races. Hopefully audio is on point and the camera's working and all that. New technology again. But hey, we're dialing it in. We're getting it one step closer each time. We fired the old software, got new software. The original software people lied to me. You know how that goes. $800 later, asking for a refund because it can't do what it needs to do. Now I got a gadget. I got a $100 gadget that I click buttons, it doesn't even do anything. I got to program it to do other stuff. Make it like a little bird sound or something. So, welcome to the live stream Saturday night. I was just kind of jonesing to do a live stream, so that's why we're doing one on Saturday. I don't know what day I'm going to do it. I've been looking at the schedule. Everyone's doing a live stream every night. So either A, I make someone sad, or B, I do it at a crazy weird time, or C, I figure something else out. So for now, Saturday night, Jeff Rose hopefully is wrapping up, so I'm not stepping on his toes, I hope. And yeah, so I want to talk about Felix, the smart aquarium. What is this, you ask? You may have seen some stuff online about it, and I'll tell you what I know about it. I was approached to be like a guy like, hey man, we want you to promote this thing, sell a bunch, but I'm like, I don't know anything about it. So I ask questions, you know. Ooh, I'm slightly out of sync. I don't know. Let's see. I can't tell. On my end, it looks perfect. How could I fix this? I don't know if it's before or after. That's a hard thing to do. So, let me think if I could fix that on the fly or not. I'm trying to think. I'll try and delete the delay. For video, I have to have a delay. So let's try. I'm going to try this. Let me know how this goes, and let me see if this works. So give it like a little bit of time to catch up. Let's see if that fixes it, and then I'll talk. All right, we'll see if that fixes it. Anyway, I'm going to go down to the little corner, and let me see if I got everything lined up here. We do. Okay, perfect. We're going to go down over here. All right, so the Felix Aquarium, Smart Aquarium. What does that mean? I don't know what it means, but I did some research. I talked to the guy developing the app, if you will, at the Aquatic Experience. Tried to talk to George a little bit, George Farmer. He's a part of it. Do I have pictures on here? There might be pictures. I got to go to the right screen. Let me go. All right, Jimmy says it's all good. So we're good. All right, so I think it has the founders here, and then I'll go over it. So yeah, it's got George Farmer and Oliver Knott, and then Esther. You guys might not know Esther. She's a plant person. But the reason why I was intrigued by this is I'm very intrigued by hobbyists that make products. So what I mean by that is like this Sarah food I have here, this goldfish Flocken, as it's called. I don't think that was necessarily developed by a hobbyist, where like this product is being developed. So I feel like it's more likely to do things that we as hobbyists want to do. Now, the basic premise is it's supposed to turn your aquarium into a smart device. And, you know, it'll interact with Alexa and Google Pods and all that kind of stuff, right? And you're like, okay, we can already do that. It will monitor pH, and it'll do everything like an Apex controller will do. If you don't know what that does, you can put temperature probes, you can put pH probes, any kind of probe to it. You can hook up pumps, you can have feeding stuff, all that kind of stuff, right? And that's a gadget that's typically for like the Apex Junior, I think $500. So it's a fairly expensive unit. From what I've heard, this is going to be a Kickstarter, and the basic unit, so I think like this thingy, the box, is like $100, and then there's like extra accessories. So like the next one will be $200, the next one's $300. I think $300 is the top tier. But what I thought was a little bit interesting is the camera aspect. So there's a camera that you can like plug into it. You know, a USB is going to plug in, and it's there's the $200 level, I believe, and let's assume I'm quoting this all wrong. You get the 180-degree camera, so that'd be like everything in front of me you could look at. And then there's a 360 degrees, so I could look at stuff behind you. And then I should say, this is not sponsored in any way, shape, or form. They have not given me anything. They don't promise publicity favors or anything like that. They don't even know I'm doing this. So I want you to know that, because this would be a horrible job if I was like, let me promo this, and I don't even know what I'm talking about. But My voice is still recovering from Aquatic Experience. Kickstarter is going to launch the 30th. Blah, 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 blah. It's got a cool Knight Rider thing that they actually modeled after Knight Rider. I thought that was kind of hilarious. But some of the features that I want to go over, like the augmented reality, I asked about that. I'm like, yeah, I don't know what that means. You know, I was kind of hesitant about that. The health cam, again, I'm like, what? And then the life support. But talking from the app and to the people, this is what they want to do. They want it so that you've got a device and you've got a camera in your aquarium. And then when you go like, I think my fish is sick, what's wrong with it? Through the app, you can grab your phone, like someone else on their end grabs the phone and goes, hold on. Oh yeah, I can see that fish right there on the phone. They could be looking at the video. Well, they're probably doing it on a computer. They're probably in a call center or whatever they're going to do. But the premise is there. And I thought that was kind of cool. But I'm not sure it's $200 or $300 cool. Let's be honest. That's just my own opinion. Then they've got the, I guess it's the life support one. I don't know what feature they're calling it, but the goal is that it learns. So let's say I've got a giant clown loach in my aquarium. The camera is going, well, here we go. I can scroll down a little bit. So something like this. In theory, it's going to learn about that betta. And so how does it learn? It just watches the betta swim day in and day out, and it learns patterns. So it's pattern recognition. So if your betta typically does this, it goes, that's normal. If it was swimming against the glass all day long, it would say that's not normal. If it was sitting on the bottom, it wouldn't be normal. And you, in theory, you could set up like alerts, that kind of thing. So kind of cool. I'm not sure it's $200 or $300 cool because the $100 level doesn't come with the camera. But cool, you know, interesting and new. That is what I will say. The fact you can map aquariums, and you know, I'm not sure I need that, but that's, I just wanted to share what it was because it's been popping up, and I'm really a fan. As I said before, I'm really a fan of products that are made by hobbyists because I think there's just such a higher chance it will do something we actually need it to do, you know. And so I haven't been able to play with one, and I told them, I was like, there's no way I could like full on endorse a product with never playing with it. Like, so I'm like, you got to send me one, or I got to buy one. So I'll probably get a pre-order one. I think it's cool technology. My biggest thing is that couldn't answer. I didn't get the specs at the show, and there was like a line of people waiting. So thanks for showing up, people. But I want to know like what's the resolution of the camera and that kind of stuff, because it's like it doesn't do you any good to be like, I think that thing's a potato. No, that's actually my neon tetra. Like, it's got to be super crystal clear. It's not even do even half this stuff. And my big thing, because I'm a social media guy, I was like, I think if this product's going to work, it's really got to be built into Facebook and YouTube. Like, I need to be able to like take a button and live stream my aquarium, or take a little video and push a button and that lands on my Facebook. Something to share with like your own family. Like, if that could happen, I think that's super cool. And so it's going to use the same technology like Nest cameras and stuff, where it recognizes like, oh man, something odd's happening. Let's take a video of it. So it's not going to record video all the time, but when it notices abnormal things, it'll take video. And then when you get home from work or whatever, you can kind of go like, oh, what happened in the aquarium? Like, whoa, my Severum was attacking my Cory cats or whatever. So it might help in some of those things. I'm just afraid that $200 or $300 is above the average hobbyist price point, right? And then there's the other thing that I haven't figured out yet is if you need to put it in the center of your aquarium, you really got to hide the cord because it's got to be corded. So, you know, there's some things to get around. I want to see it in action. I want to play with it, and I want to know, is this the coolest thing I've ever seen? Or is this just like, yeah, that's a cool trick. That being said, of all the stuff we just talked about, that's all in addition to what an Apex controller already does. So you can see like you've got all these ports, you know, right here you can connect probes to, and then you can control pumps and that kind of stuff. If the app, and that's one of the biggest things I'm finding when I go to China and that kind of stuff, and I look at products, if the app is super sweet, usually the hardware is good. But if the like, I need a button that says, boom, I'm feeding my tank, kick the pump back on in 20 minutes. And I need it to be adjustable, super easy. I need that for lighting. Like I need buttons that says like turn the lights on, but then have them go off at the normal time. Like all those types of things, not like, well, you can technically turn it on, it stays on until you turn it off. Like I need full on capability. And then in theory, it's going to be, you know, Google Pod, turn on my aquarium, or let's take a look at the aquarium, or whatever. But I thought it was cool, and so I'm doing, you know, my part, if you will. Not that I have a part, to just bring some attention to it, because I like George Farmer, I like Oliver Knott. Both those guys are big in the industry, and I genuinely think they are trying to improve aquariums for hobbyists. Like, everyone's got to make money, but their main motive is more people in the hobby. So I thought that's noble, and I'll do anything I can to help further that within reason, obviously. So, and while I got you all here on this screen, we can bang out a couple more things while we're here. We've got the light giveaway. If this is the first time hearing about it, it's been going on all month. You should sign up right now. You basically head over to aquariumcoop.com. You can go and click on right here, the giveaway. When you open up the menu, you click on that. It's going to load for you. And then you can enter. And we're giving away 5 lights. These are different ways. You can subscribe to people, newsletter, all that kind of stuff. And that'll get you a chance at winning, right? So it ends at the end of the month. So we got, what, like 3 or 4 days left. Get in, get your entries. We'll start another one next month. We do it every single month. Not always for lights, but it's just one way to get some subscribers spread around. Collect some email addresses, and have a good time, really. You know, so that's what we're doing. Easy peasy, no pressure. Oh man, look at that, it even says 4 days left. I didn't have to do math. And last thing, I started a new page. And let me block some of this stuff here that popped up. There we go. So I've got a new page here. This is my personal page. And this is the new one you can go to right there, and it's got new pictures and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, subscribe there. Why are we going to subscribe there, you ask? It's because that's where I'm going to put out what Corey's doing. What does that mean? What is Corey doing? I do more than just fish stuff. I do business stuff. I travel, and like, there's a lot of stuff that goes into the business page, like stock lists, sales, all that kind of stuff, which if you're in a different part of the country, stock lists don't help you, sales aren't really going to help you, and that kind of stuff. So it's just it's a public figure page, if you will. We're going to put videos on there. I'm going to do a little bit more, I don't want to call it behind the scenes stuff, because it's not that, but there's other stuff I do that's not specific fish, but it always is going to tie into fish. And so it's a good place to follow me and you know, have some interactions, that kind of stuff. I see Amber. If your name is Amber, which maybe 5 of you is named Amber, thanks for following me right there. And Paul. But yeah, so it's just kind of a way you can stay interactive. And I don't want to say I'm neglecting their page, but here, only I'm here, where like the business page is a bunch of people that are a part of it. So yeah, made a public figure page. I went to VidCon, or not VidCon, Vid Summit, and they're like, yeah, you should have one if you're an influencer. It's nice to have something that's not the sales pitch. And I agree. Like the business, I'm there to sell you stuff. Here, I'm just trying to nerd out with you guys and be like, check out this cool thing. Look at that cool thing. Look what I think's a cool thing. And maybe you'll think it's cool too. So, last thing, you can go on the website, and if you click accept the notification box, a lot of you may have gotten a notification that we went live. That's where we're sending out new videos and specials and all that kind of stuff, because it's a little bit better than email. So there's a lot of announcements. I don't know if that's announcements, but a lot of talking. Ooh, last thing, while we're talking about specials, till the end of the month, and apparently the thing told me 4 days. If you use the code Corey10, it's 10% off the entire website. We want to move some inventory. We got a lot of inventory coming in for Black Friday. By the way, I'll just give you the heads up. We're not doing a specific, like, everything's happening on Black Friday type of sale. We're going to do it across the entire month. So that means each week a different thing's going to happen. We're going to have a different sale on Black Friday. We'll probably have a different one on Cyber Monday, but each one will only apply to those. So, you know, like if the first one is you know, 20% off of these. See if I can get that to focus. There we go. 20% off those. It's only going to happen that week, and then it'll be different items. And it won't be just one item, obviously. But the goal is to spread out all the orders so that the employees can still have time with their family. So, and we're planning to do no special Black Friday sale in store because we want to ship everything out. And I think by giving you guys a heads up and telling you, and we're going to publish all the sales on a Black Friday page so you can plan when you want to buy. You know the discounts ahead of time. You know all these things are going to happen so that you don't feel left out and like, hey, what about this and then and that and that? You know, but it's the best way we can. We've gotten to a point now where it's getting a little crazy, and that's how we're going to mitigate it and make sure everyone has a fair shot and that type of thing. So we got so crazy today. Jimmy and I spent the first half of the day, we went and bought a used U-Haul so that we can move product from cargo containers and wholesalers and that type of stuff. And also, I bought the van so we can load it up with a bunch of stuff and go to the AGA convention when it's coming up in 2019. I think it's the first weekend in May. So if you're looking for an event to go to and you're a plant nerd, I'm going to be there in full force because this will be the first event. Let me make sure that's true. Yes. First event that has gone on within driving distance of my store. I'm going to bring insane amounts of cool stuff. I'm trying to harangue people to be in my booth and like have a good time and pull off all this cool stuff. So AGA 2019, it's going to be awesome. We're the platinum sponsor already. We're going to have, you know, we've got the, what is it, hospitality room. Gotta have unlimited tacos there pretty much. I don't even know if I'm allowed to have tacos, but hey, if I am, we're going to put a lot of tacos in there and have a good time. So also coming up next year, which I'm already thinking of next year because I got to plan ahead, there's at least one aquatic experience. So that's going to be in New Jersey, confirmed. I'm going to go to that. Then there's at least one Aquashella and a rumor of a second one. So the rumor is the second one be in Dallas, Texas. Not quite sure when. So I'm going to go to all three of those if I can. And the goal is to do dinners afterwards. If you guys came to the aquatic experience, you know what that's like. It's pretty fun. Not everyone necessarily gets to hang out. Like, you can't all sit at my table, but if there's a bunch of people there, then we can all hang out. And I kind of meander around. A lot of people meander around. A lot of fun times. A lot of laughing goes on. You guys will see that coming out this week. We're putting out the aquatic experience video. It does terrible on the YouTube channel, but I think it was really important to put this one together because this year, I feel like we really came together as a community. There was a ton of YouTubers, but there was a ton of fans. There was 60, 70 people at the dinner afterwards, and it was just a fly-by-night thing. Like, come on, show up if you want. Yeah, we're going to go to Red Robin maybe, if they can take us. And so we went, and it happened from like 6:30 all the way to about midnight, and then we went and got ice cream afterwards. So it was a good time, and yeah. So I want to show the community. There was almost everyone there, not everyone obviously, but a ton of people there, and I want to see it happen again, and I want people to get excited about it, and I want people to know what it's going to be like, because I think a lot of people don't know what it's like, and so the best way is to show you guys. So that's what we're going to do this week. We're putting out that video, and hopefully you guys will watch it and share it and be ready to come to a show. Like, I don't care what show you go to, just come to a show and enjoy it. So, all right, I know we got some super chats and things of that nature going on. Julian says, love what you're doing for the hobby. Know of any good aquascaping stores in the States? ADG in Houston comes to mind. Any others? Taco Union. In the United States, I would look into, I haven't been there yet, and I'm not sure they're open to the public, but look into Brooklyn Hardscape. They're opening a store, and they've been competing in competitions for a very long time. I would look at that. I believe Corey Hopkins, look him up on Facebook. He's an aquascaper. I believe he works at a store. So, and he's in Texas somewhere, I believe. I don't know if that's true now that I said it. Look up where he works. I would check out there. I'm trying to think of, like, there's a lot of stores that are like, we sell plants, but like actual aquascape stores. In Washington, I could say you could check out, I wouldn't say it's like hardcore aquascaping, but it's definitely like an ADA dealer. Would be Aquarium Zen in Washington. You could check them out. And then there's, is it just Aquaria? There's a little store here that's very tiny, but very, very, very nice aquascape tanks. Dustin's Fish Tanks did a tour of them a while ago, and George or Coral 12G also did a tour there. So I'm trying to think. I know there's got to be like 10 more. I just don't know them. And I thought it was kind of cool to meet a bunch of you guys. I met at least 3 different people that are opening up fish stores. So I wish you luck. It's not the easiest road. And hopefully, you know, watching me do it, you see what it takes. And what I actually am hoping, I'm hoping that people have been around for years and are now starting it, and not like, if you just join the channel like in the last 6 months and you're like, I want to open up a fish store. This guy did it and he's doing awesome now. It's like, if you're not watching all the backlog and like the business channel and that kind of stuff, you're missing all the crazy work and disasters that happen, all these things. And so you'd be getting, you know, like the perfect picture of like, yeah, this is going to be easy mode. And it's not. It's relatively difficult as a retail store. Online, I think it's a lot easier. I think there's better potential and that kind of stuff. So, yeah. Ooh, Mad Tanks in the house. I almost went and got it, but it was like a minute before we went live. He's making some really cool wood. I don't want to call them carvings because I think he's using a CNC machine or something like that. He's making some really cool stuff. I got to get with him and have him make some more stuff. I got a fish room sign that I was going to show you guys that he gave me, which was super cool. But check out his channel. And I know I got to have something, man. I got to have something. I don't know where or how I'm going to use it yet, but, you know, it's good. All right, let's see here. Everyone, make sure you hit that like button. I want to say thank you to all the people that have become members. As you become a member, what does that do for you? It gets you a few pictures behind the scenes. In theory, when I have time, it will be member-only live streams. And that's not, like, it doesn't take the place of a normal live stream I would do. It's just so that it's the best way I've come up with that you could be like, oh man, I got to ask Corey a bunch of questions. And you could join that live stream and do that. You know, if that grows to be a bear, then I don't know what I'm going to do. But that's the current plan. And now, traveling, I've only got one traveling. Well, that's not true. I might have agreed to another one. But for sure, there's one more thing I got to go do in the rest of the year. And there might be one other one where I go to Germany again. But we'll see how that goes. All right. I just want to show off my autofocus. Can I do that? This new camera we're using here in the studio is awesome. Like, I like the fact that I can be like, check it out. You should buy all the Easy Green. Oh, what do you mean it doesn't have that guaranteed analysis? Look. Oh, focus better. Focus better. Of course. Oh, I was too close. That's why. Yeah, but I love the fact that it can do that on the fly. I haven't had that capability before, so. Alrighty. Ooh, am I gonna dress up for Halloween? I'm a curmudgeon. I don't like to necessarily dress up. When I do, it's got to be like a big event. My favorite thing is my favorite thing used to be is I would dress up as Santa because kids love it. You know, it's a good time, but it's a lot of work. You know, you're exhausted and, you know, I don't know who's listening, so I don't want to talk about it more, but it's a lot of work. You know, when Santa walks in the room, Santa walks into the room. So, you know, there's something to be done with that. Does anyone know what type of root they're using in the Indonesian aquascapes? And is there a supplier in the US? I don't think there is a supplier in the US for that wood. And I don't even know what they're calling it. But I have the chance to bring it in. I have the chance. But I think it's kind of overpriced. Like, I saw some people buying it. It's very small clumps of it. It was like $100. And the reality is, we're buying tiny little sticks for $100. So that, I think, is the problem. Like, I don't know. I don't know that I want to necessarily help that along. Like, I need that to come down before I'm like, yeah, you guys that are hobbyists, let's start spending $100 on, I can't even call them sticks. They're like twigs, maybe? Like, I don't know. Yeah, Jimmy's got a bundle of it that he got, and yeah. Ooh, I should be a Cory cat for Halloween. Yep. I could do that, but I always feel like I don't know. I'm kind of a guy that's got to go 170% or 0. Because I'm like, yeah, I can just put on like some cat ears. I'm a Cory cat. And then it's like, that's such a cop-out. And I always judge people like that. I'm always like, oh, that's your costume? Okay. You know, so I'd rather be like, I'm just nothing today. What camera am I using? I'm using the Fuji X-T3. It's one of the newer cameras that came out. It can shoot in 4K 60. We're not currently doing that at the moment. We're making sure it works on 1080 before we dial it up a notch, even though the computer can handle it. I want to make sure that the hamsters can keep up with what we're doing right now, which looks good because we're only using about 15% of the CPU currently, so that's good. Oh yeah, someone said they voted. That reminds me. There should be, I think right up here, if you click on your screen, a little eye card thing. And I'm curious to know, where are you watching this live stream right now? So are you on a desktop computer? Are you on your phone? Are you on a laptop? Are you on an iPad? Are you watching on a giant TV? Yeah. So my employees are messaging me. I'll have to answer later. But yes, that'll help me figure out what's kind of going on. And, you know, I want to try something crazy. I want to try like a vertical live stream. I have this crazy thought, and I know that I know that there's no one that knows the answer to this, but I'm a guy that unless I'm on a computer, I only consume video vertically. And so I'm wondering, like, what if we shot this vertically? And my actual thought is, I know a lot of people are only listening to this. They're not even looking at the video. So I'm just wondering how it would play out. And I want to play with it because I don't want to say artistically, because I always feel like that sounds weird. It'll be a challenge for Jimmy and I to make that work. And part of keeping it challenging to do this is what keeps it fun. Because if it's just the same old every time, it's like, let's do it again. But if we can, you know, mix it up a little bit, makes it fun for us. So, do your dogs like to hang out with you when you're doing tank maintenance? Not really. They will, like, if I'm doing the one in the house. But out here, they'll walk around and look for any crumbs we've dropped. But usually there's, like, sounds that are happening. And my dogs are real skittish because they're all rescues. And sounds they don't know scares them, makes them want to leave. Like, Tinky, our newest dog, I guess, which is like, it's over a year, but that dog's like bulletproof, like, oh, no sound scares me. But the other ones are a little bit more scared. So, yeah. And also, like, the water changes, like, we're in a different building. Not that they can't come out here. They come out here every day. But it's just, you know, when they're out here, we kind of mess around with the dogs a little bit. And then we go back to, you know, I guess attention on one animal at a time. I guess that's what it comes down to. So, yeah. Albert Wong says, no vertical, please. Yeah, I don't know. I want to see what the evidence says. And evidence or statistics, whatever. Because I agree that on the surface I'd be like, yeah, vertical video is dumb. But then in practice, when I'm watching people that say vertical video is dumb, I watch them watch video on vertical. Then I'm like, yeah, I realize you hate it, and yet I'm watching you do it. You have the option to watch it vertically, and you're choosing to watch it vertical. And so I just want to see, like, because I know on Facebook and that kind of stuff that typically vertical is preferred, and there's all these things, but, you know, and it's a fun thing for us to try and do. So there you go. We have a new member, a Grassy Peak. Thanks for joining up. Soon you'll be a pufferfish or something like that. I want to get some custom emojis. Okay, this is, wait. Okay, phew. I thought it locked me out again like last time. Do I just use sponge filters in my aquarium? No, I use, well, at the store, mostly sponge filters, but at home, I use hang-on back filters with pre-filter sponges and sponge in the back. So I'm using lots of sponge material, but not necessarily just a sponge filter. I do have a new filter I'm testing that I'm very considering bringing in. I gotta import it. But it's basically a fluidized filter that, kind of like those pop bottles I made, but it's finally, they've made a commercial one. And so I'm thinking about bringing it. I got to see about price point and all that. And I just, it's going and it's working. I just, before I got to bring in like 2,000 of these things. Like I better make sure I really like it and it's the right price point, because otherwise I'm wasting my own money because no one will buy them. So, let's see here. Oh yeah, the World Series. I'm competing with the World Series. No matter what day, I was like, oh, I don't want to do Sunday because it's football, World Series right now. Always something going on. I just gotta figure out what's best for me. I don't think I'm gonna do it on the weekends because I feel like next year I'll travel. So I'm thinking midweek is when I'll do these, because then I can more reliably do it. That's the goal. The goal is I really want to get back to weekly. That's what I'm trying to do. How can you lower your pH? Ask Ryan. He's looking for some tips. He's got pH of 8.4. My only tip, there's two ways, and if you've listened to me for 3 years, you know them. But I would say the first one is an RO unit, or reverse osmosis unit. It's going to strip everything out of the water, and then you're going to reconstitute it, basically. That'll bring your pH down by a ton. The other way that works is to use like plants and basically get a super established aquarium and don't change water. And as we convert waste, it'll slowly make the water more acidic. And eventually you get to like, let's say 7.5, right? Let's say you're at 7.5. Then you can start doing water changes. And you don't want to do big ones. You want to do small ones, like 10%. So you're going to bring in 8.4 water. You got 7.2. Maybe you kind of level your aquarium off at 7.4, something like that. Those are the practical ways. I'm not a big fan of like, oh, I'm just going to use a ton of wood or catappa leaves or pH down. All those things don't work reliably. So, yeah. All right. So, yeah, a bunch of people are saying that they're watching on a TV and they don't have the option to vote. Very good point. Didn't think about that. So, if you really want to get your vote in, log in on a phone or something afterwards and go ahead and tick that vote, because it really helps us kind of figure out. Like right now, files in 4K are huge. Like we went and filmed last night, and we shot, and it was 50 gigs of footage, which could have been in like 5 gigs if we did 1080. We shot it in 4K, and we're trying to do that, but we have to invest a lot of money to do it, and we've already started investing. This camera can do it, but yes, that's my thinking is like, well, the people are watching on a TV that's this big. If we're clearer, that's just better, right? Like there's no reason not to. That's my thinking anyway, but we'll have to see. Have to see what people think, because if only like 2 people are doing it, which obviously more than 2, because we can see that here, then yeah. All right, we've got a super chat from Tommy Clark. I'm planning on coming in on Monday. I'm searching for Celestial Pearl Danios. I don't know if I saw Celestial Pearl Danios. I think we have them, but I know for sure at least in quarantine, we have the Emerald Rasbora. Why can't I think of the right name? Danio erythromicron. That's what I was trying to think of. I know we have that in quarantine. Sister species Celestial Pearl Danio. We probably have Celestial Pearl Danios, but I wasn't like looking for them while I was there last night, so I don't know. How do you get rid of stuff like Daphnia in your aquariums? If it's Daphnia, just put some fish in there. They'll eat them all up. Or put a hang-on-back filter. It'll suck them all up. Real easy. All right. New member from HE Aqua. Thank you very much, buddy. There we go. Memberships don't work that well on YouTube yet, so. Oh, interesting. Christopher is chatting on his phone, but watching on the TV. So I should have fully thought out this idea, why I was thinking this. So, okay. So when you watch YouTube in chat and it's this way, you don't get the chat box, right? So you're watching a live stream, you don't have chat. If you watch vertically, you still have the chat. And so my thought was, what if the video was like this big and you still had a chat box? Like that's the best of both worlds. So that's why I was thinking that way. It's not just because I want to force everyone into a vertical life. It was purely that like, oh, okay, what if we could make the people that want to be in chat right now, give them a better experience? Or the people that want to watch the replay, a better experience as well. Which, you know, a bunch of people that listen to this podcast go, I don't care what video it is. It's all audio to us. So, you know, that's the reality of what we try to do. We try to please so many different groups of people. you start trying to go, well, how can I please the most people? You know, and all this new fancy doodads like the podcast people. I'm hoping this sounds a little bit better. I'm hoping that. But other than that, you guys probably don't care. So, have I heard about Brazil sword? I bought some from my fish store and looked it up. Some said it was not an aquatic plant. I don't know about that. I can look it up right now. And, I mean, I've heard of it for sure. A Brazil sword plant. Let me look it up. Scientific names help a lot. Brazilian sword doesn't say its scientific name. I don't know for sure. Looking at the pictures I see right now, it doesn't look like it should be submerged, but I don't know. It's not a plant I carry, and a lot of times like, oh, I've done research, and that's not an aquatic plant, so I never brought it in. So, yeah, I don't know. All right. Oh, you have chat and landscape. Huh. Yeah, I don't get that when I do it. Maybe it's an iPhone thing. Who knows? You can still see chat horizontally, but you can't type horizontally. I see. There's all these. Every phone is going to be different. Every iPad and tablet device can be different. Like, it gets weird. So, yeah. Is Real Fish Talk ever coming back? I miss your guys' fish banter. Probably not. That's the honest answer. Until more people start showing up for live streams, we get guests that want to be on, we get sponsors. Like, there's things that need to happen. It costs a lot of money to produce a Real Fish Talk episode. It doesn't seem like it because you're going like it's just two dudes talking. It's like, sure, two dudes talking, $10,000 in equipment. You've got a third person running the live stream, and then like to take it where we wanted to go, we needed even more, and we were just running at a loss. So, you know, running at a loss for 8 months and losing traction was kind of the, yeah, maybe we got to find other stuff to do. So, welcome, Domingo Nunez, new member. Oh, any fish room tours planned of other YouTubers? Do I have any planned? I don't think I have any new ones planned. I think the last one we did was King Lee at Twin Cities Guppies. None are planned currently, but that doesn't mean we won't. Like, we're trying to plan Lucas Brett's coming out here. That'd be a fun time. What else do we have? I think Aqua Pros might come up next month. I'm trying not to travel, so that's like, I'm like, there are a few people I kind of want to go. There's Scottish Aquatics and Bentley Pasco. I'm going to try and fit them in at some point since I don't have, they're local to me. I can fit them in, bring that to you guys. But yeah, I can't think of any big ones. So, when's the Felix Smart Tank review? I have no idea. Because it goes to a Kickstarter, right? And if any of you have ever watched a Kickstarter, I don't know, like, it could be a year and a half before a unit actually hits my hands. Could be 3 months. Like, I don't know how soon that Kickstarter is going to go from, like, idea to mass production. So, Christopher says, are you friends with Joey? Would love to have you guys do a co-live stream. I don't know if I would say we're friends. I would say we're aware of each other because we're in the same business. But yeah, I've never been up to there. He's never been down here. We've invited him to Real Fish Talk and that kind of stuff. Hasn't happened yet. He was at the Aquatic Experience. Didn't get much time to talk though because I was with fans most of the time. And yeah, we'll see if anything ever comes out of that. And I should qualify that by someone being a friend. Like, there's some people that use that term loosely, like, I have 5,000 Facebook friends, and it's like, do you know what the word friend means? Because you've never met that person in real life, that type of thing. So I would say, like, well, of friends, I probably have like maybe 10 in the world. You know, like, there may be a few more, but like close friends is like 2 or 3. But, you know, I have a lot of acquaintances, you know, and that's the thing is like someone like Joey, I've talked to a fan as much as I've kind of talked to Joey. So it's kind of like, well, you know, I wouldn't necessarily say every fan is a friend. And I know there's people that do, but I don't think that's genuine. You know, I think it's like, oh yes, I have interacted with you, but I wouldn't say like, oh, it's Thanksgiving, come on over, friend. You know, that type of thing. So, all right. Please answer Charlotte Beth's question. Uh-oh. All right. I've got some black stuff on my sand. I'm pretty sure air bubbles... Okay. I gotta read this because it's not making sense to me. There is some black stuff in my sand where I'm pretty sure air bubbles used to be. I'm afraid it may be mold. I really don't want to undo it all. But if I have to, I will. Thoughts? As long as it's underwater, very few molds ever grow. Where air bubbles used to be. Maybe you have hydrogen sulfide gas, 'cause you've got gas pockets building up. Okay, so look up hydrogen sulfide gas, and you can get some pictures of it where you'll see it'll look black. Like if you look in the front of a tank where the sand line is, in the front you can see some black patches. But that's just like bacteria and gunk and that kind of stuff. I wouldn't really worry about it. If your water parameters are testing okay, I'd say you're good. You could reaffirm you might have that. Get like a chopstick and kind of poke around right there. If some bubbles come out, it's probably hydrogen sulfide gas. I wouldn't worry about that too much. A lot of people, you know, freak out about it, but I don't find, like there was a ton of it in the wild and it was a non-issue, but I would start looking there. That's what I would do. Someone says the controller, like the Felix, is spring 2019. Yes, but if you've ever been part of a Kickstarter, like every Kickstarter on the planet says like, it's going to come out tomorrow. And then pretty soon it's been 2.5 years. Like there's always production delays, you know, and that kind of stuff. And don't get me wrong, I hope it comes out tomorrow. I'm just a guy that's like, well, I realize how these Kickstarters go. So that's... I don't want to tell you guys like, yeah, it's launching next week, be ready for it. And then Corey's a liar, took 3 years. Especially because I don't know anything about it. It's not like I know the people that are producing it. Like, obviously I know George and Oliver, but like the actual person in charge of making sure the factory meets deadlines and that kind of stuff, like I don't know that person, so. What would you put in a low 6.5 inch frag tank? 15 gallons, but not much headspace. If that's all you got, because I was trying to think, there's some fish that like you can have that jump that are really cool, but if that's all you have, because I'm afraid that like fish will jump out, you know, like it's not, yeah. So only 6.5 inches. To me, I want to make it a mud skipper tank or a crab tank, like build an island in the center so they crawl up into it. But what I think about is you've got 6.5 inches, and the reality is you can't fill it up 6.5 inches. So really, you got like 5.5 inches. So to me, I think of like guppies, stuff that you could breed in mass quantities would look cool from a top down, maybe. And then maybe putting some stuff in the center, but I'd be afraid a crab could crawl out. Same with a mud skipper. If you could build like I don't want to call it a fence, but some kind of guard, that's what I would do. I would build something in the center so they can crawl up and out, whether it's fiddler crabs or mud skippers or whatever you want to do, and then just make sure they don't leave the building type of deal. That's what I would do with a frag tank, because assuming the frag tank, being a frag tank, would be very wide, you know, front to back and side to side. You'd have a massive footprint, but not a whole ton of water. And yeah, that's what I would try. I would try it. Who knows? Got anchor worms. I'm a rainbow fish. What's my best advice? The best treatment I've found to date for anchor worm is Dimilin, like Dimilin. Dimilin? No, N at the end. And I buy it on eBay, and I want to say you could buy like a 4-ounce bottle that will treat like 4 billion gallons. And when I say that, I'm kind of being serious. Like I think it's half a milliliter treats 500 gallons of water, because it's usually meant to use it in ponds. So like in our aquarium, if half a milliliter is 500 gallons and we have a 50 gallon, we need like 1/10 of 1/2 a milliliter, that's really hard for us to measure. That being said, you get this bottle of medicine for like $20. It's like a lifetime supply for everyone you'll ever know when it comes to anchorworm. So, new member, Katie Donahue, thanks for joining up. Appreciate that. E-Rock, I like that name. E-Rock with the 99-cent super chat. Tazawa's Tanks is here lurking. And I'll give you a little sneak peek, if you will. In the video releasing this week, Tazawa's Tanks arm wrestles 2 people. One may or may not be Joey Mullen. And by may not, I mean is. So there was lots of fun going on at those dinners. Everyone's having a good time. And, that's the reason you show up to those things. It's super fun. Let's see here. I only saw it from across the room, by the way. Like I was sitting with other people, so I kind of got to watch the video after the fact. So that's why we make the videos, because even I don't get to witness it all. So I was wondering if you know what it means when your fish is sitting in one corner of a fish tank. Could be a couple of things. Could be that it's an actual like depressed fish. So like let's say it was a schooling fish and it's scared or depressed. Could be that. If it's not something like that, it could be a flow issue. If flow is insane over here and I want to break, I'm gonna go hang out over here, right? So that makes some sense. I would say usually it's one of those 2 things. So I would look into, do I got a fish tornado going on? No? Okay, well then maybe he's not so happy right now. Yeah. Susan SLC Aquatics in the house. The Fish Fam mom. If you guys don't know who she is, you probably should. She's been around a while now, and she live streams all the time. And welcome. So, yes, I did hand out a bunch of shirts. I forgot who, but they were thanking me for giving them a shirt and that kind of stuff. It was fun, and I hope to do that. I want to do it more. The trick is figuring out how to ship shirts all around the country and not have it cost $1 billion. So, Nathan asks, will live streams be uploaded to the Co-op app still, or has the app gone the way of the real fish talk? No, they should be uploaded still. Let me see if I can see on the app right now. I have a sneaky suspicion there's something up with the app because of policy changes like all around the world when it comes to internet privacy and all that kind of stuff. So it might be. Let me see if my app has auto-downloaded the latest podcast. I gotta go to all. Which, if you guys don't know, by the way, there is, like this one I had downloaded for a plane where I was listening. Well, let's see here. Why not? Show you the whole way. So we've got, my phone, there we go. The Aquarium Co-op app has all the podcasts. You can open that up. You can have favorites. You can have an alarm to wake up to my voice, which I'm pretty sure half the world has that going now, you know. Yeah, so it had the one from October 14th, which was the latest one. If you go there, you can see all these ones I haven't listened to yet. Shocking, you haven't listened to them. Well, I'm in them, so I kind of know what happened. But yeah, you can do all that. There's CarPlay built in, so if you've got that on your car, and you can download them, you can play them, you can do all those things, and it's also one of the best ways to go like, oh man, there's 1 billion episodes deep. Like that will scroll till the end of time because we've done hundreds and hundreds of live streams, right? Ooh, what's the first one? I don't even know that answer. Let's see if I can find the first one. Oh, it's saying January 10th, 2016 was Real Fish Talk, number 9, How to Feed Goldfish. Oh, it's probably the first one we uploaded. That makes a lot of sense because we didn't upload all the first ones because they were pretty rough, and they weren't live either. It was just Lamont and I in a room. So it was that, then it was African Cichlids Part 1, African Cichlids Part 2, Aquarium Fertilizers. Yeah, and we were in this exact room actually, but it was facing the other way, and it was a lot more, I guess, ghetto. That's all I got is ghetto. Like the sound is terrible. I mean, it's probably still terrible now, but it's less terrible now. But it was simple back then. Ooh, I just missed a super chat. I'm on it. Let me find, how do I get there? All right, there we go. Oh man, I've missed a bunch of super chats. The $2 ones, they don't show up on top, and so I'm gonna hit those all right now. Let's see here. We've got a new member, Kuren Bong Aquatics. He owns a store in New Zealand, I believe. So thanks for joining up, buddy. Mad Tanks, can I make something for your booth at the AGA? Ooh, that sounds like a good idea, Mad Tanks. Yes, let's brainstorm. Shoot an email to like store@aquariumcoop.com. Then the people that manage that will forward it to me. If I didn't give you my card yet, if I didn't, I apologize. Yeah, we'll think of something. There's got to be, like, I want to do like could we do a Murphy? That'd be cool, like a cool wooden Murphy, something like that. Or maybe we'll do a new cooperatives type of thing. So yeah. How do we buy goldfish basins from the China video? Asked Cody. So the only place I've ever seen them is, and I don't know how to describe this place other than just describing it how I know, when you go to like some international district markets here in the United States, and not everywhere is going to have them. Like you probably don't have them in the middle of Delaware or something, but at least in Seattle and California and maybe some place on the East Coast, there'll be like these international districts where there'll be a lot of imported goods from other countries, stores that are around that. And a lot of times your best spot at finding these are going to be where they sell bonsai pots, just because it kind of goes together. And I would look there, and then I don't know where you're going to find the ones with filtration. I haven't seen those in the States, but you can find these big pots that have goldfish painted on the inside, on the outside, and that kind of stuff. And they're fairly spendy. Usually by the time you get a giant piece of pottery over to the US, it's $400 or $500, but it is very cool. So yeah, I don't know that there's, and maybe someone else does, but I don't know that you can just order them up from somewhere or anything like that. Alrighty. Catching up here. Turbofish, Pseudomogil Gertrude Ariu 2 thoughts. Great fish, not that hard to spawn. The Gertrude line from Gary Lang is amazing. There's kind of a blue fin form, like a lighter blue, and there's a yellow fin form. Both are awesome. I would take any of them you can get. Pseudomogils in general, very fun. I've played with them a bunch, still love them, and yeah. Just buy them. Buy them. Get more females than males. You'll love it. Corey, would you consider a FishTuber lottery for an appearance on a live stream or a real Fish Talk episode? No, because a lottery gets me in trouble with the government. But there could be something like that. I'm trying to think of my way through it. The real answer is, if you can get here and you won't murder me and my family, we could probably do something together. The other answer is, if you have a great internet connection, good audio, and good video, we could probably do something together. The reality is, most people fall into one of those two categories that don't have that. Either they're an axe murderer that's going to kill me, or B, they have horrible internet connection and their quality is bad. And obviously there's not actual axe murderers, but that's, me saying, like, I don't really know you a whole bunch. Like, you have 27 subscribers and you've been around for 10 minutes. How do I know you're not just going to murder me? That being said, the door is pretty open, honestly. As long as it makes sense and the quality's there and you've got, I don't want to say a good reputation because it's not about that, but like, you're known to be doing good work, I guess, right? I don't know. That sounds so weird, like I'm judging people, but the only thing I can think of is, like, let's say you're at work and there's 30 people there. There's 5 that you're like, yeah, those guys are awesome. And then there's like 20 where you're like, yeah, they work there. And so that's 25, right? So that's going to leave 5 people where you're like, oh no, Sally just walked in. I guess I'm eating lunch with her. And I'd be trying to avoid those people, like, oh dang, Sally wants to do a live stream. All right, let's do this. That type of thing. So Steamhead, $15 says, I'm definitely an axe murderer. Let's collaborate. I mean, Halloween's a time to collaborate, that axe murderer thing. But, I've got a track record for working with people, even competition. I've been on a live stream with Dustin. I've been on a live stream with H2O Plants. I'm trying to think of YouTubers. Obviously, Jimmy, Tazawa's Tanks, Steamfod Aquatics, KG Tropicals, Aqua Pros. I know there's more, but I can't think of them. Yeah. and even like kids, that type of stuff. Like as long, and I've waited for people. People are like, oh, I really want to do this, and they say they're gonna get their equipment ready and their stuff together, and then they don't. You know, I've also been on Sergeant Tanks, Susan SLC Aquatics. I've been on her live stream before. Yeah, so I mean, part of it is also getting schedules to line up, that type of thing. Like even LR Bretts wants to come out, and I think it's in December, but it's like he's got stuff going on. I've got that trip I got to take. We got to make it work, and that type of stuff. So this last year has been a train wreck for collaborating, really. But that's why I'm trying to travel less. Meat Man, please go back to old school vids, the vlog style. I know it's not where the money is, but I really like those videos. Still a fan. Ooh, that's a lot of hashtags. You do boo, do you boo, and helped me so much, and thank you. So it's not even about the YouTube money. The reality is YouTube doesn't make me enough money for it to matter. So like we lose so much money on YouTube, but we want our message to get out there and that type of thing. The other problem is like today, let's say I thought about making a like daily dose today, right? But it was literally 4 hours in a car. We bought a U-Haul, and the 4 hours includes time there and back. And then I fiddled around with live streaming equipment. And I honestly just don't think that makes for good video. And that's a lot of what my days are. My days aren't, let's just fiddle around with fish because I work at the store and then I come home and I've got to breed stuff and I got to do that. Like, so much infrastructure has to get set up to be able to make daily doses. And then I'll say this. Everyone wants daily episodes because everyone wants, you know, like, everyone always wants more Stranger Things episodes, all that kind of stuff. But the reality is a lot of production goes into them. And just look at other YouTubers like Joey and Rachel and that type of stuff. Like, they went daily, and it's really hard to stay daily. Traveling, life comes up. Like, if you watch people that go daily, even they have a struggle doing it. And I really try not to let you guys down. So I don't think it's actually feasible. It's not that I don't want to do it or anything like that. It's can we actually do it? Can Jimmy keep up? Can I keep up? Can I make sure that your orders ship out on time? Can we travel? Can we make these things happen? Can I bring in new products? Like, it's really difficult, you know, and like I want to do more stuff I want to do more live streams in general. I like doing that. So yeah, vlog style, is it coming back? Maybe here and there, but not on a daily level for sure. All right, we finished up the paid questions. Now I can... How about a bi-weekly dose? Yeah, so that's... Gerald's asking. That's something that's more reasonable. That is a more reasonable, like, here's some cool things that happened. And that's... I don't think... Here's what I think. And this is... That doesn't mean that what I think is correct, by the way. Let me start there. I think people miss me being in the fish room doing things. I don't think necessarily people miss like what I did all day long. I think you guys want to see me set up a fish tank and then build something and then go visit the store and then go do a thing and then eat a taco and then talk to you guys for 10 minutes and there's a 40-minute episode. I think that's what you guys want, and I recognize that. And I also want to bring that back. The trick is, how do I do it? How do I set it up? I need Jimmy to be ready. We need to be caught up on videos. We're starting to get caught back up. We like to be weeks ahead. Right now, we're only weeks ahead on like the Sunday videos, right? So I want to get everything back into a rhythm, and then we can work on some of these. Oh yeah, we'll film this, and we'll film that, and we'll film that, and we'll put all that together, and that makes for a great kind of daily dose episode. Is like, here's what Corey's doing on a day-to-day basis, not exactly all in one day. And so yeah, I want to see if that makes some sense. Work with Coral 12G? Yes, I want to see. I want to do that. Sean from Fritz is in there. Who's asked that? Sean Hale. Yes, I would love. So I really love. If you don't know who Coral 12G is, he's a saltwater YouTuber. We've all watched him grow up. He was like, I don't know. I feel like he was 5 and now he's like 40. You know, somehow in 5 years he's gone from 5 to 40. But we watched him, you know, we as YouTuber community, we've watched him grown up. And he's one of the people that put on Aquashella. And the video I really fell in love with recently was the one where he like broke into a store, and he does really cinematic stuff. And I want to see, what I would really love to see is Coral 12G and Jimmy think of the scenes to put together, me be a part of it, get some other fun people, and really do something amazing. It's really fun when you start working with other people and you all get to be like actors. Not that we do a lot of acting, but like, okay, George, we're going to fly over and we need you to set up an aquarium. We're going to do all this. Okay, then we're going to go do this over here. Then we're going to fly over here and we're going to make this super cool video. And we're going to think of all these cool transitions. And we're going to take the helicopter and we're going to do all this fun stuff. That just is just entertaining for everyone involved. And they're like, oh, we got to get the drone shot. Oh, we got to get this shot. We got to do this. We got to do that. That starts becoming really fun. So I agree that that would be cool. I'm hoping to start making some of that stuff happen. That's why I'm trying to invest myself into Aquashella. I think what you guys are doing is amazing. And again, as I started the show, I really like it when hobbyists are making products. Why Aquashella was so good is because it was a YouTuber who 50% was making that show happen. So as a hobbyist and YouTuber, he knew exactly what we wanted to see, what we wanted to have happen, whereas a manufacturer just wants to make sure people buy their stuff on average. Now, Sean's a little bit different. He recognizes we got to be there for the fans. We got to make it a fun event. So it worked out really well. I want to make sure I'm a part of that. And yes, working with George sounds amazing. I'm all for it. If we make that happen, let's think of something fun. We'll do it. Let's see. How about Kobe's weekend review? Yeah, we could try something like that. Yeah. Part of the problem is now we have Jimmy editing and me doing separate things. And part of it was because I was traveling the world. Like that, Jimmy can't capture the daily dose stuff while I'm working if he's not there. Like it doesn't make sense if I'm in a business meeting with someone, like, hold on, yeah, I gotta get the shot. So go ahead and keep talking. No, I gotta get this for the blog. Nah, yeah. And then we edit out all the audio, and then I go like, ooh, look, Corey was in a business meeting. But that shot, it does look okay, but, you need someone to get that. Like right now, we've had it before where Jimmy would like open the door and he'd film like, hey, that's what it was like when he's doing the live stream for apparently an hour and 5 minutes. But yeah, it's really good to have someone on the team. And I think, if you really love the Daily Dose, I think you're going to like the Aquatic Experience video. And here's what I really need you guys to do. I need everyone to share that video. Like, even if you only have one person on your Facebook or Reddit or whatever, you sharing it tells YouTube, this thing is awesome. And then it gets a lot of people watching it. And why do we need a lot of people watching it? I'm going to tell you my grand master plan, right? Here's my grand master plan. My plan is get a bunch of people to watch it, get people like Fluval and just other big corporations to see what we did and what the Aquatic Experience is about. Then I want to get them to buy all the fans dinner. So like, oh, tonight we're all eating at Red Robin, sponsored by Fluval. And then like they give away some bug bites, and then we all have a burger and we have a good time. We party for 4 hours, and then we do it again the next night. And like, oh, tonight sponsored by Dennerley. Here's some Shrimp King food and a steak. Like, I want more community events. Like, so yeah, you got to pay your $15 to get into the convention or whatever. But I want someone to go, oh man, look at all these people. We have a chance. We can tell them about the newest, I don't know why. I have a half, no, it's not even open. I have a thing of goldfish food I haven't even used yet. But like if Sarah was like, yeah, I'll buy everyone dinner, but you got to listen to like, yeah, Goldie Nature is the new best goldfish flake food, blah, blah, blah. All right, have dessert, people. So that's like, so if you guys share it out and we get people to notice this, and they're starting to notice, like, because here's how I know. I come strolling into like Aquatic Experience, and like random people I don't know is like, hey, Corey, and I'm like, hey, who are you? Oh, you work for that company. So they know who we are. That's the first step. We need to, and Sean's expressed some interest and stuff like that too, and we want to work this into Aquashella, but we want that dinner. We want that dinner because it's one thing, you guys are, right in front of the camera. I'm here, I'm signing stuff. It's fun. It's another thing to sit down and have like an hour-long conversation at dinner, and then you start talking to this person, you start talking to this person, and it's really, really fun. Lucas says, all you can eat shrimp, sponsored by Shrimp King. We could have done that. Outback, we had dinner at Outback one night, and it was all you can eat shrimp. I didn't have the shrimp, but yes, stuff like that makes sense. Like everyone would talk about it, and there'd be like, you'd have Lucas, Tazawa's Tanks, and Joel Korvasoskin like eating their weight in shrimp, and then you're gonna see them the next day, and they're like the color of a shrimp because they've taken in all that. What is it? I'm trying to think. Is it beta carotene that would color them up a little bit? But that kind of fun stuff. I don't want the event to end like, oh, it's 10 to 5, and then because everyone's stuck in a hotel room, and they're like, oh, geez, what do we do till tomorrow? I want it to be fun. I want it to be fun. So that's what I'm trying to do. So yeah, that day in the life of, you're gonna experience exactly what our weekend was. Our weekend was fans, us signing, doing all that, unloading, packing stuff. All that stuff is in that video. It's like 8 minutes long or something like that. And you get to see some of the tanks that were there and the fun and the laughing, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, so share it, I guess. I don't know where I went. I got excited about it, but yes. Food, fish, and friends. Yes, that is the plan, and we'll go as far as we can with it. Would love to see a cartoon Murphy on a shirt. Yes, I wish I had someone that was like, oh, I do cartoons all the time. I think of funny cartoons that need to happen all the time. So if you're out there and you're like, I'm really good at drawing cartoons and we can put those on shirts, we should find a way to like work together. I don't know, like obviously, I shouldn't say obviously, but I don't know if it makes sense. You're like, oh, geez, a cartoon costs $2,000. More like, how about we put it on Teespring and I give you half of all the profits? And then like, whoa, we sold a bunch. Great, you made a ton of money. Or like, turns out we only sold 36. All right, yeah, maybe you're going to go broke making Murphy cartoons. So, yeah. Tangents. Sunday. All right. Here, I have a question for you guys. And maybe put it down in the comments if you're listening to this afterwards or whatever. What is it that you guys that are going to conventions, what is it that's missing? Like, and maybe nothing, because maybe you go to all of them, but what's the part where, because I know I've been going to conventions before I was ever like a part of them, like I was just a hobbyist, right? And I always had my things of like, you know what I would do if I was doing this? I'd be doing this. What is it that you guys want to see? Is it, oh, I want to see more vendors? Like, I think one of the biggest things, you guys should be able to buy more stuff. You're going to travel all this way. Like, there should be more dry goods to buy. There should be better ways to buy fish and ship it back home to you. Like, I think all those things are very important. But what I think is important, maybe that's not what you guys think is important, right? So I would love to know, because like right now, I'm at this point, like, if here's the higher ups, and here's you guys, I'm a little bit higher, and I can like shout upwards and be like, they want this, they really want this, and they might start listening. And so if they can almost hear what we're trying to say. The West Coast is missing. Yep, the AGA is coming. Traditionally on the West Coast, we have poor attendance. So how do we fix that? I think we got to make the event more appetizing. What are we getting for our money? Why would we want to go? And I think that's part of it. More education and more talks. I agree. In my opinion, they should do more to get high caliber speakers. There should be more talks. There should be more entertaining talks. Like I don't want to say the people that were talking that weren't entertaining, but I feel like at the Aquatic Experience, like, I don't know exactly, like, I know George spoke, like, that's cool, that's an international speaker, but it's like, if we have these big events, like, why didn't we have the biggest people in the world speaking? You know, like, it costs some money, but we've got a lot of big names in the U.S. Like, I think it should be like a convention, not a convention, a club meeting times 10. That brings me up another thing. What about an auction? That might be really fun. Like Sunday, all the vendors like donate a bunch of crap or the stuff they don't want to ship back home because it costs too much money, and just auction everything off, and people come just for the auction even. All right. A Ferris wheel? We might be able to pull that off. Let's bring the carnival to us. Yep, I like that. More free samples. See, now I would have thought the other way, Broken Texan, because I get loaded with samples, and I'm not necessarily having enough room to carry them home each time. I would love to see this. Like, in a perfect world, I would love to see, I don't have any, I would love to see more like iPads on a desk. Put your email in, you get sent a product. So like let's say we were at the Aquatic Experience, you put your email in, yeah, I get to market to you, but let's say I send you an Easy Green. Like, that'd be amazing, right? You'd be like, whoa, that sounds awesome, right? And you would be able to choose what samples, and you'd be able to choose, like, if they get shipped to you. Because that's my biggest thing. Like, if people just hand you a bunch of stuff, it kind of gets lost in the way, and then you're like, oh, I got a bunch of stuff. Yeah, we're not taking that home, don't have room for that. And so I think they could do better there. I don't know, though. Closing day auction, good idea. Ball pit, yep. Someone says that's what's missing, so that means you probably have another comment. Oh, the auction, yes. The auction brings a lot of people. It's a weird thing. Less corporate, more hobbyist booths. I agree. You know, and it's, I don't know. Yes, corporate. I think, in my opinion, this is my personal opinion, if I was running a convention, every booth has to sell stuff. So if you're Fluval, you have to sell your lights and your food and you're that. Like, that's just the deal, right? Like, so that's how I would have it. And I know some people would be angry going, well, I sell Fluval products and I don't want them undercutting me. It's like, but getting those products into hobbyist hands is a good thing for everyone involved. Just so long as they don't undercut people. Like, ooh, the Shrimp King spoke. He was fun. Yep, I bet you that was a good talk. Yeah. But at the same time, I wonder how many people actually knew what was going on, when it was going on. Like, I feel like the talks were kind of an afterthought. Like, they were there, but like, it wasn't like overly announced, like, oh man, this talk's going down, you gotta be in there, it's gonna be amazing. You know, it was kind of like, oh yeah, oh, George did a talk? Oh, when? Oh, 2 hours ago. Guess I'm not seeing that one. You know, it's kind of that type, for me anyway. And maybe I'm just the only one that was uninformed, so. As long as the sale stuff doesn't hurt the free goodies and the good deals at the end. Yeah, I don't think it would. I mean, I can't know. Like, obviously, you only know after the fact, but I think prices would go up a bit just because more people would show up with like a truck. Like, ooh, the auction's happening, I better show up. But I still think there'll be a lot of goodies. The thing is this: free goodies always happen when there's massive amounts of people. If there's twice as many people, there will be twice as many stuff given away. I promise you. All right. And giveaways and raffles. They do raffles, like ticket raffles and that kind of stuff. I think the problem with the raffles, this is my personal opinion. So I don't know the statistics on how many people flew in versus how many people drove. But a lot of the raffle items were like aquariums and that kind of stuff. If you flew in, that doesn't help you at all. Obviously, if you drove, you might have a truck there, but maybe you drove a car. So, you know, raffle items that could get shipped, I think that's very important. Like, that should be part of the raffle of like, you won a thing. It'll be shipped to you in 10 days from now. Don't worry about it. Like, I think that's really important. And I think we need to be focusing on getting people to fly in. Not that we don't care about people that are local, but if you can make it worthwhile for someone to spend like $700 to fly in, it really makes sense for the guy that's only got to drive 20 minutes to get there, right? Like, when that makes sense, that already makes sense, you know? So that's what I'm saying. Gaming says, I'm just a little shy and antisocial, so I was quite awkward at the Aquatic Experience, but I had the time of my life and spent maybe a little too much on guppies from Twin Cities guppies. Well, that's been known to happen to all of us, and yes, my goal is to break down that barrier. Like, if you can at least show up to dinner, you can at least sit in a corner, and then you're still part of the group, and eventually you're going to be like, Can someone pass the ketchup, please? You know, and that's where the conversation starts. So, you know, if you can't ask for the ketchup to be passed down, well, then you just get a bad meal and, you know, solitude. But hey, not much more we can do. All right. Jeff Rose, fish keeping in the house. He was live earlier before me. I apologize if you went longer than an hour, Jeff Rose. I had to pick some time, and I thought an hour was good enough, I guess. If someone's live right now over top of me, hey, that's fine too. Not trying to step on anyone's toes. So, if you could give me a like if you haven't already. Let's you know, show YouTube where it's at. Like. All right. What are we talking about now? Do you think you'll be able to go to the ALA convention 2019? Ooh, Maple Street. I forgot about that because it's gonna be in Louisville, Kentucky, and we know that you get to tour Rusty Wessel's house, and that is a cool tour. I don't know. I gotta look to see when and where, and I want to go. I love libraries, and I want to go. So. Yep. Yeah. Ooh, while I'm thinking about it, I want to say a huge thank you to the person that organized Saturday's dinner. And I'm going to start it by, why didn't you say her name? Because I forgot her name. I'm a horrible person. But that person did a bunch of work, got us that banquet room at Red Robin. Super helpful. And I want to put this out there. If you can be like her and help us organize an event because it's local, that helped so much because we had so much stuff to do with the booth and meeting fans. It was super duper easy when they're like, yeah, tomorrow I got it worked out. I'll stop by at about 4. We'll let them know how many's coming. We'll show up there. That was awesome. So if you local people, you know, if we're coming to you, help us out with that. That helps it so much because you know, like, oh yeah, it's just right over here. Oh, and I'll call them ahead and I know this and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So. Jessica at Pierre 4, during the Black Friday sales, can we still order online and mark it for in-store pickup, asking for everyone local and who also works retail? Yes, you can. You just got to put a note that says, hey, I want to pick this up. And it's really helpful if you're like, I want to pick it up on Tuesday. So that way we don't like pack up your plants and then, oh, you're not coming for 2 more days? Oh, okay, we'll pack it up then. I also want to look into it, and I was thinking about this on my 2-hour drive home with the new U-Haul. There should be a way I can spend a little bit of money and get programming on the website so that you can mark for pickup and a day. It is built into what we use now, but it sorts shipping by lowest. And so free is always the lowest, right? So pretty soon we get 100 orders a day. Like, I'm picking it up, but you don't live in the state. So we need to make sure it's like the last option. And there's like a double check, like, are you sure you'll be driving to Edmonds, Washington? And you're not just choosing free shipping because it's cheaper. Yes, okay. You know, so we got to get that programmed in. But yes, Jessica, please do buy lots and buy often. Convention and trade show are interchangeable names today. These shows lack the small business opportunities by charging outrageous fees to set up a booth. Yes, I completely agree. Like, I want to say booze. I have no idea what they are at Aquashella. So maybe if Sean or George in the chat, you can tell us, or I'll ask. And maybe that's something I'll try and, you know, if I can shout up and go, hey, let's make it a little bit cheaper. It's a good idea. More people will show up. But I want to say at the Aquatic Experience, last time I was looking to do it was like $1,200 for a booth. Now, maybe it's a little cheaper, maybe it's a little more expensive. But that's what I remember off the top of my head. And $1,200 is a lot of money to a small to mid-sized business. When you think about a lot of things. So it's $1,200. Like for me, let's say, $1,200 for a booth. Basically $700 for flight and hotel. So I'm into it for $2,000. And I don't even have any of my products or anything there yet. I got to ship that. So like the shirts we shipped, for instance. I spent $550 in shirt for shipping. The shirts themselves were $4,000. So right there, if I just wanted a booth to sit down and give you guys shirts, I'm into it for over $6,000. Like that's, you know, so it's like all of a sudden you're like, Well, if you're willing to spend that much money, we could give you a booth. You're just going to give stuff away? Like, you're going to bring people, right? So I think we could, you know, part of it, it's catch-22. Like, they got to make money. If they're losing money, there's no reason to put on a convention. If the convention center's charging a lot of money, then what are they going to do? They got to make it up somewhere. How are we going to do this? Like, there's a lot of things that go into it. So, you know, I don't, but if there's leeway there, I think we should do what we can. You know, buddy up, buddy system, more people in a booth, whatever we got to do. And the more people that attend, if we can sell more stuff, we can recoup that money. So it's one of those like, oh yeah, if this works and this works, if that works, that works, that works, that works. It's a weird thing there. If I move 4 neon tetras from my community tank into my cherry shrimp tank to breed, would my shrimp eat the neon tetra eggs or fry? Yes, they would probably eat the eggs. So usually you want their own dedicated tank if you're gonna do that. All right. How long do you hold plants and convert them before you sell them online? Asked Benjamin. Depends. Anywhere from 10 seconds to a ridiculously long time. I would say on average, plants are in our tanks for. I'm actually I'm going to work through it. So plants that arrive today. So here's how it works. If we were sold out of a plant, and so we pick up plants usually on Mondays, or Saturdays, Mondays, and Fridays. If we were sold out of a plant, we put them in inventory. If you bought it tonight, it'd be only in the tank for a day. But we do everything we can to have at least 2 weeks of plants in stock. So what typically happens is a plant that arrives today probably won't start shipping out for at least 7 to 12 days. So that is the normal period of time, right? So but then there's things that no one's buying this right now. So we might have had it for 5 weeks and it's fully converted. But that's the honest answer. And then it depends, if we do a huge plant sale, we're going to order extra. And then people that order right at the beginning, more likely to get converted ones. At the end, you're more likely to get ones that haven't fully converted or are just starting. And then after that, so the sale's over, right? The following week, all those plants are going to be new if we sold out of a bunch of stuff. So that's realistically how it works. Can we buy tanks on your website? No, shipping tanks is no good. They just break. So yeah, not from us anyway. What would be an easy carpeting plant that's not dwarf Sagittaria? It's for my classroom tank. Microsword's pretty easy. I don't know how much light you have. If you can get a hold of Marsilia minuta, very slow but easy carpeting plant. And then another slow but easy one would be Crypt Parva. Yeah. Dorcula says, the Vesuvius we got in today was gorgeous and nearly converted. Yeah, if you've never seen Echinodorus Vesuvius, it looks nothing like the submerged grown form. You would swear it's not the same plant. That being said, the vendor we got it from, it costs a lot more for, but I'm interested to see what it looks like. So, depending on where we order and time of year is how much it's going to be converted or not converted. When we buy it, stuff like Vallisneria, it's always grown underwater, so there's not really much to worry about there. I've been to Aquatic Experience and Aquashell. I thought more kit activities would definitely make it keep it more successful, and keep me there longer. Oh, that's good. That's good feedback, Huge Mac. Yeah. It definitely. How do I think about this? The goal would be to get me and my wife there, and if we had kids, we'd get there. And you're going to be limited by who gets bored first. If the kids are just running up the walls because there's nothing for kids to do, parents are going to be like, it's a madhouse. We got to get out of here, right? So you gotta plan an event like, what's good for the hobbyist? What is the hobbyist spouse going to be entertained by? And what are the kids going to be entertained by? Because you gotta sell that experience for all of them. And I agree with you. So yes, in my opinion, the Shark Tank this year at Aquatic Experience sucked compared to the seals. Those seals were awesome. All right. Jess Trim says, I don't want more kids' activities. As a child-free adult, I'm there to buy cool stuff for my tanks, and I'm not interested in kiddie stuff. Yes, but that's where it's planning this whole event. If 5 times as many people show up, because now there's kids' activities over in that room, and the wives or the husbands are happy, and this, now there's 10 times as much stuff from the vendors, stuff's going cheaper, like it's a bigger event, and you reap the rewards. You know, I get it that you might not want to be like, oh, I got to sit next to the face painting station for 40 hours. Like, that's not exactly what we're talking about. But I do think it's important to, you know, include them and make it good, you know. And we're just thinking about consumers at this point. Like, how do we make it better, you know? And I think that's important. I think, you know, you almost need, like, if we were really doing it right, we'd have like, oh man, there's a kids play area. You check your kid in. Kind of like when you go to a grocery store sometimes. You're like, I just check my kid in here and I could go shopping. Okay. Something like that happening. You know, and we have like the reptile guy and he's showing all the crazy lizards and he's, you know, whatever. So, yeah. Let's see. John says, he's got a question. Seems like YouTube has become less of a priority lately. Anything cool coming up? I'm trying to think. Yes? No? The problem is everyone's got a different definition of what's cool. I know I need to do a bunch more stuff in my fish room. That's cool to me. I'm really trying, so if I'm being honest, I'm trying to work out a sponsorship with a company, right? If I can make that happen, I really want to leverage that to get them to bring some products into the country. So, like going to China, I get to see a bunch of cool stuff that hasn't made it to America. Like my questions are like, why don't we have those sumps? Why don't we have those electronic aquariums? Why don't we have Wi-Fi controlled canister filters? And so if I can work with a company, and then yes, I have to go like, today we're sponsored by Aquarium Co-op. By the way, X company now is bringing in the Wi-Fi canister filters. It's insane. And I had a little bit to do with it because I told them to switch this thing and this thing as a hobbyist. I think it's going to be better. That's what I'm working on. And it eats up insane amounts of time because you're trying to convince a corporation that's worth a buttload of money that I can like even reach you guys. So that's, and they're just like, well, we've worked with YouTubers before and we have ads in magazines and, you know, stuff doesn't really do anything. You know, and you're like, cool, except I know it works and we're starting to get some traction. And I'm trying to bring, so like right now, I have in China, they're redesigning sponge filters based on what I think needs to be changed, which I think is super cool because I'm a guy that's used sponge filters for 10 plus years. And I think these things need to be changed. If I get them changed, and now they're Aquarium Co-op sponges, yes. Am I going to make money? Yes. Is that super cool? Probably not to you guys. It is to me. You're just going to go, oh, the sponge filter's a bit better, you know. But that's the kind of stuff I'm working on because it's what I'm interested in, you know. I brought a bunch of wood home. We're going to do an islandscape in the 800 gallon. That's going to be like a 2-day project. But is YouTube less of a focus? I would say definitely less of a focus. And like my focus is to not burn out. Not that I'm burnt out, but I need new stuff to do. That's the reality. So like, well, what video are you going to make tomorrow? Well, a daily dose. I've done that 62 times, as we know from the daily dose. Well, you could do an unboxing. Oh yeah, we've done 80 of those. Well, you could do a live stream. Yep, we're over 200 of those. Well, you could do, you know, talk about filtration. Yep, we got 10 videos on that. Well, you know, and so the challenge becomes, what is it we haven't done yet? Because what we haven't done is fun. When you do like, oh yeah, we did that. We can do it better. Okay, yeah, we'll do it better. You know, like last night we filmed. There's a new food. The Vibra Bites are super duper cool. I'll give you guys the heads up. Vibra Bites by Hikari are the new magical food because pufferfish are eating it. So last night we got piranhas to eat it. You're going, Washington, you can't have piranhas. We have Wimple piranhas. You get to see them on camera. Super cool. So we got piranhas to eat it. We got African butterfly fish. We got pea puffers. We got Shodenai puffer. We got all these, you know, hard to feed dry food fish to eat it. So is that super cool to me? Yes. Like, I don't get paid by Aquarium or anything like that, but I think it's very important to bring that food to the masses and go, look, guys, this bridges the gap on a lot of those fish that would only eat frozen or live. Now they'll eat dry. Is this the step we were missing so that now we can get that pea puffer to eat, you know, goldfish flocking? I keep this around because I just think it's funny every time I try to pronounce it. But maybe, you know, oh man, now I got pea puffers eating flake food or something. So is that cool to you? Probably not. Is it cool to me? Yes, because I think it's cool to bring new products and, you know, I don't know, awareness to it. That's the thing, is there's, what you guys probably don't see is every day in email, there's 20 new products where people are like, hey, this thing's the newest, greatest thing. You should sell it and talk about it a lot. And then I go, not really. You know, that no one needs that. You know, like there's a vendor right now out of China that really wants me to carry their lights. And I'm like, cool, your lights are kind of like Kessel lights. They're too expensive, you know, and I'm not sure they're great. And they want me to like bring them in and spend all the money. I'm like, I've never tried one. The first step is get one here. I'll try it. And if I go, oh, wow, this is really good and different, because then I have reason to talk about it. And that's what people don't get in the industry is like, I'm a guy that doesn't have to be paid to talk about stuff. The only payment I need is you actually have to make a product that solves a problem that we didn't already have an answer to, right? So when VibraBites does something nothing else is doing, I got to talk about it, right? When Flu Ball Bug Bites came out, it was doing something that other foods weren't. Now there's a bunch of other foods that do it. Do I have to talk about them? No, because we already had that, right? So when companies launch Me Too products, I have no reason to go like, look, it's revolutionary, you know, whereas like the Felix Smart System, it is doing something new. If it didn't have that camera and maybe the app technology, I'd be like, yeah, you're not Apex, you're just Smart Aquarium, okay. But because they're doing that side, that's something we're talking about going, very interesting. Could you imagine, because we get hundreds of emails every day, my fish is sick, my plant's doing this, what's wrong? If everyone was in on the same app and I was just doing it from my phone, like, oh, that's ick. Oof, that's a nitrogen deficiency. Oh, like that would solve so many problems. So I like that aspect. Can everyone afford $200 or $300? I don't think so. But is that the first step to getting it to be a $100 item? I think it needs to be like that kind of functionality can't be more expensive than the light you put on your aquarium. Like I think that's the most expensive thing people put on their tanks is the light. So if your product costs more than the light, that's usually the first stumbling block. If I'm like, oh, yeah, I don't know if that's gonna work, you know. But like I envision a lot of saltwater people getting it, but not necessarily freshwater people. So, alrighty. Flocking, as the Great Diamond Authority says. Corey, I'm a kid, but I am the one who is the hobbyist. Hey, that's even, yes, Karush. There's a bunch of kids that are like even YouTubers and very good hobbyists and that kind of stuff. And I'm not saying I wouldn't sit down and get my face painted and jump in the ball pit and check out dude's lizard collection. Like I would do all those things. So I think it's important to, it's not about entertaining only kids or only spouses or only the hobbyist. It's making sure we have things there that are going to appeal to a lot of people, right? I think that's important. And yeah, I don't know how to work it out yet. If I did, I would already be doing it. But I know if that's the goal, I can ask people like, so what are we doing to solve this problem? I would wager we don't even know it's a problem yet at the high level. Like, oh, what do you mean? Well, we've got the kids aquascaping contest and we've got the blah, blah, blah over here. I'm like, true, we do, but what else we got? Like, if we want to get people to be there for 3 days, aquascaping kids events one day, maybe. It's not even, it's like 2 hours of a day for a kid. Not even that, it's like an hour, right? So it's like, what are we doing to keep these kids from just losing their minds as their parents want to like hang out and shop and do all these things, right? We got to figure it out as a community. So, Grassy Peak says, purchasing VibraBites tonight. Will killifish eat it? We will see. I think they will. I'm trying to think. So Dean, when we had him on, when we were talking about fish food, his rams wouldn't eat it. But Robert says at the store, which we get Dean's rams, they eat it just fine. So maybe they're just like, well, if we wait, Dean makes us better food, and so maybe they're just less picky at our store. But when you see the video speaks for itself. Of like, look, it's totally eating it. It works. And what I liked about it is it has so many vitamins in it compared to just a frozen bloodworm or something like that. I'm really excited to fatten up discus, puffers, and things like bichers and piranhas and butterfly fish. All the oddball stuff that typically is like, oh, it's looking a little skinny. Gotta get some weight on that. I think it's really going to help do that. So. Joel says, I wish you had the troll goldfish behind me. Yes, if you haven't seen some of the live streams that are older, I had this big goldfish that was like gorgeous, and it would only do it during live streams, but it would be like, oh look, I'm dying. Oh no, someone better call the police on Corey. He's such a horrible person. And anyone that would come into my room would be like, that thing literally is trolling you. And the minute I turn around, it'd be like, I'm not doing anything. It'd just be swimming around. Like, that goldfish was awesome. And I do miss having goldfish and that kind of stuff behind me, but I really like the setup we got going right now, just because, one, it's not hot in here, it's not loud. Like, I got a fan on, whoo, doing good. Got some lighting, gonna play with the lighting a little bit more still. I like the fact that, like, right now we have a shotgun microphone right here. Like, I could probably, like, oh, does it come into the shot? There it is. So now you guys may or may not have noticed, like it used to be last week, right? Or last time, I'd have to have this big old thing in the way. We'd have to have another one for a guest, right? Now we're miking me, and we can just move that a little bit, and I can have multiple people in the room, and we've got good audio. At least I hope it's good audio. It should be good audio, so that people can walk in. Boom, we got more people on the show. So we're doing things like that, and like this setup can't happen with an aquarium. It's gonna pick up too much noise, and like right now, I've got a big TV in front of me. My voice bounces off that. Boom, would hit an aquarium, and it would be echoey. And so, you got to choose like, oh, do we go for visual? Do we go for audio? And my big thing is, how do I make it the easiest possible so that people sit down, we have a conversation, have a good time? That's my goal. Easy, 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 easy. Yes, who's part of the mug club? Hashtag mug club right here. Aquarium Co-op mug. Whoop. Look at that. You can order on the website. Yes. Aquarium Co-op mug. And then I stole this mug. So I'll tell you a story about this. This mug right here. I was in Germany, and this is a tea mug. Or I don't know if they call it a tea mug, but whatever. And they had these, and they were serving. I don't drink tea, but I was like, how do I get me one of those? And they're like, what? And I was like, yeah, I want one of those. And they were like, oh, let me see what they can do. So this is a Sarah mug, or a Sarah cup, and a little plate. And I hauled that back from Germany just because I was like, yeah, I'll put that on the wall. So, yeah, why not? Not that I drink tea, but little collection. What else do I have? Anything cool? No, I don't. I can show you guys some art. You guys probably haven't seen this in a long time. This is Celestial Pearl Danio art, original. Ooh, there we go. I'll get that. There you go. So I got that at a club auction. That was super cool. I've got a German Blue Ram. This is, I don't know what they call this. Artistic people do, but you scratch off the color. So whatever that kind of art is called. Same Hillary Isdale. I've got that. Well, a lot of people have been sending me emails about this. Jimmy got this for me, this betta. And he got it in Hawaii. And he paid $25 for it at a fish store. And it's like a ceramic thing. And yeah, so it's a betta. So I collect stuff. You guys want to send me kooky stuff? Maybe it'll make the wall of shame up here where it's like, hey, that's a slightly aquarium related thing. We should put it up there. Yeah. So, yeah, why not? Show and tell time. Yeah. Don't forget to subscribe, by the way. Token subscribe pillow for the YouTuber. Uh-huh. Yep. All right. Coffee's better than tea. I don't know. I don't like either of them, but I want to. Do a live stream with my dogs. You're just asking my wife to bring those in. My dogs don't want to be on camera. We will. Is the room puppy ready? Not quite yet. We need like, if the room was puppy ready, there'd be like padded couches up here where they could just sleep. That'd be good. All right, am I running out of questions? Y'all should try the Azu Ultra Fresh Fish Food. I use a tropical version to feed my fish. It's so good. I haven't tried that, to be honest. Yeah. Azu is a hard food to actually buy as a company. Jessica's got a quick question. Is there a recommended time for a male pleco to rest or eat after fry or loose before putting him back in with the female to breed? Like a week or two would be optimal. You know, if you could. One of the best ways, I don't have one here, but if you have that pleco cave, you can take him with the eggs and just move him to another aquarium. He'll kick him out, right? And, well, not kick him out, but like they're going to hatch. They're going to start feeding. You can just feed dad in there as well. And then like he'll go back in a cave, and one day you're just gonna be like, all right, sweet, time for you to go breed with the female. You just pick it back up in the cave. There's no netting involved. Works out really well. I used to do it all the time. So, all right. I'm just missing more questions. Need more questions? Update on Dorcula's tank. Ooh, it's like a bomb went off. One, we're gonna move the tank out to here probably. I removed the CO2 to do a CO2 video and never put it back on. And I run out of the auto doser, the 1 gallon jug, it's out of fertilizer. So right now, it's a carpet of very translucent, basically dead chainsword. And I already told Bob he could have all the substrate, so Steenfot. We're gonna give him all the substrate. We're gonna do something different in that tank. I don't know what yet, but we'll see. Up around 8:40, I asked a puffer question. Will you answer it? Ooh, I don't have timestamps on, but that's a good. Ooh, that's a good tip. Let me try that. 8:40. Wait, that doesn't work. It's 7:40, but yeah, it depends on the time zone, right? So that'll be a little bit of mathing. See if I can find his question. Oof. Why can't I find it? I'm at 7:40, which should be my time. Still doesn't work. Sorry. What about the Scape, a big box fish store aquarium on a budget contest that you, Jimmy, and Dorcula were going to do? Oh yes. We still have those tanks. Only Jimmy set his up, and we just haven't gotten around to it. That is definitely on the wanting to do list. More stuff like that. I want to have more fun, but it's just this year, the second half of the year has been a nightmare. Like, I mean, everything's been good, but just in terms of trying to have like a family life, a good work relationship with my employees, I rarely get to see them. I fly so much, and in between the flying is getting the videos done. So a lot of that stuff has suffered, I would say. So my goal is to remedy that by not traveling as much and getting more time back to do these things, build a better relationship with employees, build a better relationship at home, you know, do more fun stuff instead of just like, oh, gotta crank out the next thing, gotta get on a plane, gotta do this. And so, yeah. And the only thing that really changed, in my opinion, was insane amounts of traveling. So I'm hoping to dial that back. Oh, it went back to the way it was. So, have I ever used a hang-on tank breeder box? Definitely. The ones that are powered by air? Yeah. I'm not a huge fan of them. I prefer just having other 10-gallon aquariums, but in a pinch, they're amazing. I've seen some people really utilize them. So, let's see here. Yeah. Dorcula, my wife, says, Corey was home for 1 week in September. That's it. That's a true statement. So out of 4 weeks, I was only home 7 days. Have you ever seen Jimmy? I guess here's something that's hard for me to remember is like, if we gain 13 to 15,000 subscribers every month, Jimmy probably hasn't been on this channel in 6 months. And so like probably 75,000 people have never seen him. If you're listening, Jimmy, you can come in and wave. But he's got his own channel, the Schwisky channel. You should go there. So if you want more aquarium co-op crap, go to his channel. Let me see if I can bring it up for you guys. Because he does like video stuff. He does camping, not camping, but like outdoorsy stuff. And he also does stuff related to fish. Because guess what? He works with fish all day long, every day, just like I do. So if I go over here, just want to get everything queued up so that, there we go. Let me see if I can make this work. This could be a train wreck. There we go. So you go over here to the Swisky channel, and he's got 15,000 subs, and you can see, like, you know, he was feeding Murphy and you know, collecting stuff in the wild. When he went to Hawaii, he did that kind of stuff. He did his favorite tanks at the shop, so he's got lots of fish stuff. But he went to the Sony event, that kind of stuff. So lots of good stuff. Really, what I like to see is he flexes his editing skills, and then I can go, yeah, that was awesome. Do that for my channel, you know. And so he gets to play around with stuff that, you know, people like videos a certain way on this channel, and every time we try something else, people get angry. So, but yes, definitely check it out if you haven't yet. And you get to see Jimmy, like that. That is the Jimmy. So Jimmy that you see, you know, right up here. Oh, my cursor's not showing. I gotta click on it. Oh, I just played a video. Hopefully that's not like blowing out your eardrums. I apologize. But yes, right up there, that would be Jimmy, the man himself, the myth, the legend. He's got the calves of steel. Let me get back to the chat. Alrighty. I have a little desk aquarium, super small, probably like 8 ounces. I refuse to torture a betta. I don't think fish could live in that thing. Any plants? You could definitely keep plants. You could also do something like scuds. Yeah, do scuds. Like, look up what scuds are, keep those. That's what I would do. It's like a tiny shrimp crustacean. So, all right. Yes, do lots of fun stuff. Have a good time. Be silly. I miss when you would be totally geeking out on live bears, stuff like that. Yes, I've got a whole fish room that has fish you guys haven't seen. I've got a goldfish tank. I've got 3 new stains. Yeah, stains. 3 new strains of guppies in there. I've planted some of them a little bit. Like, I'm just getting it back up to where I want it to be, and then I'm willing to show it off. Like, it's not that I wouldn't show it off now. It's that it's what makes me want to do the stuff, I guess. So, like, I want to put it together, and then I can show you guys. So, yes, it's getting back to doing that. When's the next fish room tour? Hopefully in the next month. Like, if I can get stuff done the way I want it done, then I can show you guys. Let's see. Can fish get a skin tag? It doesn't look discolored, but the fish acts normal and eats. Just a little doodad where his ear should be. So it'd be like on a gill flap, I guess. I don't know. Maybe it's getting gill curl. Look up from like ammonia burn. Yeah. So. Oh, is Jimmy's hair not up to par today? So. When can you add a moss ball? I bought it a day ago. You can add it right away. Yeah. The minute you buy a moss ball, it's there. Bloomtail platies? There's a question mark there. I don't know if that's in response to something else, but they're awesome. Yeah. The next time you'll probably see Jimmy, at least on this channel, if he doesn't come on, will be when we have to redo the 800 gallon. We got to catch a lot of fish out of there, and we got to get some stuff in there. Might take Joel, myself, and Jimmy to do it, because I want to build these big wood pieces that we like screw together and build into like a giant arch. That's what I hopefully want to do. And then we got to get that thing in there, you know, and it's going to be real low on water. So maybe we'll catch all the fish, fill it with water, and then put that in, because that'll go, like, it won't be heavy once it's in the water. So. Have I heard about Petco and PetSmart requiring tank sizes to sell fish to customers? They refuse to sell me a baby goldfish for a 20 gallon. I don't think that's a widespread thing. I think, in my opinion, I would bet that there's some managers and staff being overzealous about enforcing that rule, and I don't think it's corporate wide. You know, on one hand, I'm like, good for them. On another hand, I'm like, well, how do they know? You know, like, what I've seen sometimes are like, nope, it says right here on the tag that it can't do that. And it's like, well, it also says here on your tag that your Pangasius catfish only gets a foot, and we know it grows at least 4 feet. So there's that, you know, so you can't have it both ways. So Jimmy's not even in this room, so he'd have to come in from the other room. Ooh, Randy from the Aquarius podcast is in here. If you guys aren't following him, you probably should, because he interviews some awesome people. So. How long do you wait after you lose fish before it's safe to add new fish? I would say 1 to 2 weeks, most things will die out. So obviously the longer you go, the better, but it's, you know, we want new fish now. So Is cobalt breeder food worth the price? I want to use it for platies and swordtails. I haven't used it, so I can't tell you if it is. That being said, I don't know of a single breeder who does use it. That doesn't mean there's not. That just means I don't know any. And I know a lot of breeders. I really like their flake food, but a lot of their pellets and that kind of stuff I don't care for. So, yeah. That's the other thing when I was talking about, so when I'm talking with these companies about sponsorship, I demand that I'm still allowed to work with anyone and I'm allowed to have any opinion I want, and no one wants to hear that. You know, so even if, not that I'm talking with Cobalt, but if I was, I would tell them like, no, there's some products I love of yours, and there's some products of yours that I think are terrible. And even if you pay me, I'm not going to not tell people they're terrible. So there's that, you know. Because like I don't like their UV sterilizer. I think it's a gimmick. I don't like their canister filter. I think it's a gimmick. But then there's that flake food that I think is amazing. I love their Pleco caves. I love all their caves. There's probably other stuff that I really love they make too. I just can't think about the top of my head. But I'm convinced every single company does stuff really good and does stuff not so good. And, you know, someone says cobalt heaters are terrible. I personally think they're high-end neotherms, the ones that are like 80, 90 bucks. I love those ones. I hate that they're 80 or 90 bucks, but all the lower-end ones I'm not a fan of, right? So I think every company's got products that are like, oh man, that's really, 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 really good. And then there's products of like, I mean, yeah, it's there, but I'm not going to tell someone it's good or the best, you know? And I think companies start by doing a thing. And then they do that thing and they're like, wow, that worked out really well. Okay, what's the next thing we do, right? And as you do the next thing more and more and more, you put in less time to develop them, right? So it's like your main thing you did really well still is really good, but, you know. Let's see. Have I used all of my products? Oh, wow, you got all the...
They want to see me on camera, so...
Come on
but
over.
Then I just want to bring you something so I don't come here empty-handed, right?
This is that sign from Mad Tanks, the fish room. And he can paint them and do all that, but he's got the ability to do this. And I think we could maybe carve something out.
Yeah.
So.
We paint that.
Yeah.
When you talk about these sticks. They're $25 for that bundle right there.
Oh,
but
you
it's
paid...
a pain in the butt to get it ready.
Yeah, you're supposed to like...
You have to bleach them first, and then you have to rinse it out.
Yeah, and each one of these you're going to like glue onto the rock or tie it together. Like, and that's the thing is like, when I look at this, I'm like, you're literally paying $25 for this or, you know, $100 or wherever you're going to put. Like, it just, at a certain point, we're buying compost. Like, we're getting real close to like, you know, all I'm saying is I'm not a guy that's super into aquascaping, but I'm not sure I would drop a buttload of money on this.
Yeah, it's kind of what to do. That's all.
So that's Jimmy, the editor, if you've never met him or seen him on camera. That is Jimmy. Noodle Legs himself, yes.
Bye, guys.
He says bye. You probably heard that, though.
It's hot in here.
It is hot in here. It's 80 degrees right now. All right. There was something I wanted to... Oh, yes. Have I used all of my products? That used to be true. There are a very few products I haven't tried. There's a couple of the Shrimp King foods I haven't personally used yet. Trying to think, there might be like... I'm trying to think of what other ones might I have never used before. There's very few though. Like there's a ton of products that I test all the time. Like there's ones that I could just be like, okay, I already know that's garbage. And then there's ones where I'm like, ooh, that might be amazing. And then I really do test them. Yeah, but that's part of why it takes me so long to be like, hey, this is coming. And then it's finally there. It can take a very long time sometimes. But like that's how we found we liked Vibrobites is I ordered a little bit and I fed my tanks and they went bonkers for them. And then Dean was using them and that kind of stuff. When we start getting feedback from people you trust, plus my feedback was good, then we're like, yeah, we should put that online, right? There's got to be other stuff though. Like, we're growing fast. There's got to be something else where I'm like, okay, I personally haven't used that, but all my staff has. I'm trying to think of something. I mean, a good example would be this mug. I personally am not sure if I've ever drank anything out of that mug, but my wife has, Jimmy has, Joel has, all the employees have. So while I personally haven't used that mug, I trust the feedback of every single person around me going, yeah, it's a mug. What do you expect? It's a mug. So there's that. Yeah. Dean's in the house. How you doing, Dean? Just got home? All right. All right, all right, all right. Mad Tanks, yeah. All right. In search of some good goldfish foods, any recommendations? William, it just so happens that I have a top 5 goldfish food video. That being said, I can't remember off the top of my head. I know duckweed was in there. I think frozen brine shrimp is part of that video. I'm trying to think what am I, okay, I have goldfish. What am I feeding my goldfish? I'm feeding them sinking Hikari cichlid pellets. I'm feeding them, we fed them some Vibra Bites. A lot of frozen foods. Part of me, I'm testing so many things. So I'm not always feeding what I think is the best. I'm also going, will they eat this too? Type of thing. Because I know, I know we're feeding, it's not this. I don't have it in here apparently. I know I'm testing out the Flake Food, the GVG treat mix, which we've already sold. But the GVG treat mix natural, which has no dyes. So like this flake food, like this goldfish flake food, oh, it's got like a hole in it or something. One of the luring factors of the natural is, one, they're using 30% less plastic to make the container. That's always a good thing. But two, there's no, if I can get that to there's no dyes. So you know how flake food's typically like, oh, it's blue, red, green, orange, oh yeah. There's no dyes in it, so there's no reason to put that in your aquarium. So I like that, but I need to make sure that, well, we change the formulation, right? Okay, well, we better see. And I think this one has soldier fly larva in it. I don't know if the goldfish one does. I mean, it's got Gramaris. I don't think this one does. But I also got, the problem is I got these in, I got these from Germany, right? And there's no English on it. Yeah, so when you look at it, like deciphering ingredients, like you can decipher it, but most of it, yeah. So you kind of have to go, oh yeah, it does. It's got the soldier fly in the front. So if I can get the 5% of the soldier fly larva in this flake, plus Gramaris and bloodworms and all that kind of stuff. So, trying it out, making sure they love it before I put the Corey seal of approval on it, going, you should buy this crap. So, so Racing is chiming in for Tyler. Says, mentioned the Vibra Bites. I had a sample bag and just tried it, and boom, they were all over it. In the tank, you can see at least 4. Nice. Now I love to hear when it's like a product works amazing for me, and then also works amazing for you guys. Because it doesn't know good if it's like, well, my stuff loves it. I don't know why your stuff doesn't want to eat it, because it's your money they're trying to eat. So. Oh no. Dean says that Sarah food I stole from you is really good. Oh, okay. So yeah, so that's one of the good things, I guess, is that's the first way I start with a company. That you guys send me the stuff. I can't talk about it unless I've used it. So they send me some of it, and I had it on the table, and I gave some to Dean, and that's, you heard me talk about that, but that's how I do it. Usually the first step is I get a product and I go, ooh, I think this might be okay. Then I get some to Dean, and I get some to like Joel, and I get some to Bob and Aqua Pros and other local customers, and I go, hey, try this stuff. And then I go, hey, what'd you think? Oh, you didn't like it? Oh, your fish didn't eat it? Oh, your puffer didn't want it? Oh, that ate it? Ooh. Or whatever. And then I get like a collective people that I'm used to having tryout products, get honest feedback, and I merge it all with my thing, and I go, yeah, we're bringing that in. Nope, not bringing that one in. That one, yeah, 8 out of 10 people didn't have luck. Yeah, I can't be selling that. So that's the way I do it. And a lot of people are like, I want to be in on that. We try not to ship it because it costs money and that type of stuff. I'm not saying it will never grow to that. Like, that would be kind of cool to have a program where it's like, ooh, these people get it. Let me know what you think. And then it comes back to me. So, yes. If you're new to the stream, hit that like button. Also, give me a vote up here and let me know what you watch live streams on. Is it TV? Is it your mobile phone? Is it a laptop? Is it an iPad? Yeah. Pleco vibrobites don't sink, they float. I mean, if there's a product called Pleco vibrobites, I don't know about it yet. But normal vibrobites, they float, but they sink if you have agitation. So like in the video, perfect example, you'll see in the video that we made, I turned off all the air so it'd be really quiet while we filmed. I had to get in there and like shake it a little bit so they'd sink. But with agitation, once we turn the air back on, they would start sinking. So Flynn's running a test, been testing out some Purigen and noticing a decent difference in some of my tanks. I really love it, but it's kind of expensive. Any alternatives? I don't know of any. Well, okay, there are alternatives like ChemiPure and that kind of stuff. That being said, I don't know of cheaper alternatives. The thing to know, Flynn, the trick is you get, let's say you got 5 aquariums. Get yourself, and I know this is going to sound expensive, but get yourself like 10 to 15 of those, and you can recharge them with bleach and a chlorinator. So you can kind of like have 5 in the aquariums, and then you've got 10 that are recharging, and then you can swap 5 out, put those 5 in a bucket, wait till those exhaust, put your last 5 in, then recharge all 10 again. Yes. Is that like, oh, that's $150? Yeah, that's going to be quite a bit. What's up?
This one is also the one that Dean and I love.
Oh, you and Dean love that one? All right. So this is the one that my wife loves. And I guess I'll show it off while I got it here. I don't think, are we?
It's on the website. I'm 99%.
We have the color enhancing one. I don't think we have this one. We have some of them on the website that I've fully tested. I don't know that we've necessarily put this one on yet. The problem is these again are it's all in German. So this totally, like this says alignment and colors. This might be the color enhancing one, but I don't know if it's the exact same one. But this one, what's kind of cool about it, it's got 10% krill. And it's got the natural colors again, and I think it's also got, of course, it's not in English, so it's going to be ridiculously hard. I'd have to look to, because I don't want to quote you the wrong things, but I think it also has Gramaris, and it's got the soldier fly larva in it. But that krill, fish love to go for the krill, so yeah. Are you doing a puppy?
You can take her. They all came to say hi to you.
All right. This is, oh no.
You're fine.
Come here. Oh, this is Sassy the Destroyer. If you don't know who the Destroyer is, you got to go watch some of the older videos and the reviews. This is our 14 or 13?
14.
14-year-old rescue trial. We got her when she was like 12. No, 11? 11. I was like, we've had her for more than 2 years. But she's just a little old lady. Weighs 5 pounds.
4.
4 now, I guess. But yeah. Where'd Wincy go? Left? All right. All right, next question. I'm not trying the food. Not into that game. Oh, I don't know. Oh, I do have a scrolling wheel. Okay. It's been 2 hours. I gotta get off here pretty soon. Ball of sharks only going to a 90-gallon tank. They can be pretty sensitive. They get ridiculously big. You can bring her over here if you want. Yeah, that's Wincy. Oh. She's shivering. She's like, can a lionfish and a puffer coexist in a 220? I do not know saltwater enough to give that answer. I would think probably not. Should I release this hound? Oh. Come here, Tinky. This is our newest one. Oh, I got all wet feet. You've been outside, pumpkin. Yeah. All right. You can say hello? Look at the camera. There. Alrighty. I just started the hobby a few months ago, and a few days ago my mystery illness killed my bala sharks, then ick appeared upon my blue rams. Could you shine some light on that? Probably, here's my guess. To keep rams happy, they want to be like 85 degrees. Bala sharks would not be happy. So right there, you've probably got a scenario of either A, the rams are super happy, and the balas aren't, and that could lead to illness, or vice versa. And once one starts getting illness, that can lead to the other one getting some illness going on. And so that's where we try not to pair fish that don't do well together because it adds a layer of complexity, right? Also, bala sharks tend to overeat and dominate food, and German blue rams not so much. So you can get them where you can just run into problems. And so obviously I would need more to really diagnose what's going on, but I would think the biggest culprit there is the combination of fish led you down a path that even if you were doing your best job, it's going to be really difficult to have a long-term good outcome, I think. Anything bigger than gouramis is a centerpiece for community tanks with neons and panda cories. I know there's big fish that you can do, but I'm trying to think. I like flagtail Procholotus, but they might snack on some neons when they get this big. They literally will get that big. So I don't know how big we can go. What are some big fish that are going to have different feeding habits? Big exotic plecos would work okay. Yeah, it's a tricky one because they got to be big because they want to be a showpiece fish. But then also they can't be aggressive or swallow stuff. I don't know. I know there's more. I just can't think of them. So, ghost knife. They can get big enough to devour them. Yeah. Do I ever order fish from other YouTubers to sell in my store? No. Let me make sure that's true. No. I'm trying to think if I've even ordered fish from another YouTuber before. I don't think I've ever bought... No, that's not true. Twin City Guppies. I bought fish from him, but not selling in the store. They're my own personal fish. Is there a live stream discount code? You bet your bananas there is. It's Corey10. Save 10 on all your Aquarium Co-op purchases till the end of the month. Buy big, buy often, buy all the time, buy all this stuff. Fibra Bites and whatever this is in English, Sarah, Color Flake, and what else did I talk about? Maybe Easy Green. Buy some of that. And a shirt, and a $400 gift card, and other stuff. Buy it all. When's my next fish unboxing? Well, I was out of town for the last one, right? What was Thursday? What's today? Oh, Thursday I had to go pick up a bunch of fertilizer. So that's why I couldn't do that one. So that one didn't happen. So the next one Jimmy did. That's the one that will be released. So I might be able to film one this Thursday. But I feel like I've got one. No, did I do it? I don't know where I'm at. That's how screwed up the schedule is. I can't remember if we released the one I did or haven't done, or if there's another one that I did or didn't do. I don't know. We're I don't want to say behind, but we're all mixed up because we've been traveling so much. I don't know where we're at, honestly. Do I have any experience with red belly piranhas? I don't, because they're illegal here. So, yeah. How about Dean? Didn't you buy from him? Yes, I buy an insane amount of fish from Dean, but I don't consider Dean a YouTuber because he's never made a video yet. If he makes a video, which I'm prodding him to, then he's a YouTuber. He's been in videos and that kind of stuff, but I consider a YouTuber someone that's like, I don't know, trying to make a YouTube channel, I guess? So, yeah. But yes, I buy a lot of fish from Dean, but I didn't buy fish from Dean because he was a YouTuber. Dean became a YouTuber because I buy a lot of fish from him and we hang out. So, what light do I recommend for a Planet 20 long? I would use a Felix Stingray 30-inch. That's what I would do. How many tiger barbs can I put in a 125? More than you want to buy. Probably 100. Really, like 100. And probably more than you want to buy. So, what's the attraction to the unboxing videos? From what I've been able to poll the audience, it is, 1, any little tips I give in addition to when I'm talking about a fish. 2, getting to see a fish that newer people don't know exist yet. So if you've never seen like a red lizard tail catfish, you don't know to look it up on Google. So like once you see it, then you can start doing the research. So I think it's that. I think it's those two elements really. But yeah. All right, I'm calling it. We're at like 2 hours and 8 minutes. I could go on all night, but I want this to be semi-consumable for those that aren't at the live show. I'm still going to figure out when I'm going to do this every week. I'm thinking like Wednesday or Thursday or something. I mean, there's so many spots that are already jammed up with live people. Live people, that sounds weird, but live streams. I don't want to just trample over someone, but at the same time, I got to have one somewhere. And so I got to figure out what's best for my schedule. Then I can figure out, okay, do I need to send a message? Can we coordinate? Can we do something? And that kind of stuff. So let me make sure I didn't miss super chats because I'd feel horrible. Because if you guys give me money, I try not to ignore you. Looks like I am caught up. So yes, thanks for showing up. Thanks to all the new members, which would be Tyler Ash, Abshules, Marcia Santiago, SLC Aquatics. I know there's more, but it's not showing up on my list. I think my list over there broke. Let me see if I can see it over here. Yep. Grassy Peak, HT Aqua, Domingo Nunez. You can see my voice starting to go. Katie Donahue. We got Susan. Yes. So thank you. What that is, they're pledging $5 a month. That's just more money for me to buy stupid camera gear and test stuff and yell at people. Luckily, I only yell at manufacturers, and we do need to get Jimmy to film that, but I don't think they're going to want to see it happen. But yeah, thanks for showing up. I appreciate the support as always. Share the crap out of that Aquatic Experience video if you want to ever get free dinner at a Red Robin. If we can make that happen, it's going to be a group effort. So, you know, you got to do your part. There's the button. All right. See you guys. Thanks for showing up. Share, 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 share. Bye, bye, bye. Maybe the Felix light system will be cool. Maybe some other cool stuff will happen. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.